Hey guys, welcome back. Been a little bit MIA as of recently, but yeah, I'm back now, doing a knife review. We're gonna go over the Szco or Szco, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, full tang hunter knife. Bought this knife on Amazon for, I want to say $12. I think it was 15 or 16, including shipping. But yeah, this is their full tang hunter model. That's the name or the description. It comes with this nylon sheath. For $12, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's a nylon sheath. It's got a nice little belt loop here, and I've worn it. It holds pretty well, I think. Like the name says, it is a full tang knife, so the blade runs all the way through into the handle. It says that the handle's wood. It feels kind of cheapy wood, but it's nice. It's smooth. It doesn't have any like rough texture to it or anything like that. It's not going to bite your hand, but it doesn't. It's not super high quality, obviously. The fit and finish overall is really nice, I think, for $12. It does have a little things here that make the knife unique to itself. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but right there on that brass pin, there's a little bit of space in between the wood handle slabs and the brass, which I don't really mind. It's not a big deal to me. It doesn't affect the way you use the knife in the slightest bit, but it's just, cosmetics. And there's that little divot right there, or the dent on the handle, and also not an issue. It's just, purely the way it looks. Per the description, it's stainless steel. It also does say that right there, but it doesn't really go into detail on what type of steel it is. It's nice steel, I'll give it that much. I went out and I used it a lot, and I spent the last week playing with it out in the woods and trying to get a feel for it. It doesn't have any jimping, so if you wanted to do fine carving or anything like that, it's not necessarily the best. But overall, it's a 9.5-inch knife, so it's a pretty large knife. Here, let's take a peek. All right. Yeah, it's a big knife. I'll give it that. It is a big knife, and it feels big. It's not that heavy. I'll tell you that. It is not that heavy, but give you an idea how large it is. It's a $12 knife. We'll say that much. I've batoned with it. I chopped with it. I did some whittling and some fine carving and whatnot. It does have a little bit of scratching on it. I cleaned it up a little after I used it, so I get some of that gunk off the blade. But really haven't done anything with it, and I can show you kind of some of the stuff. That's all the wood I batoned. I could sit here and show you where I batoned it and how I did it, but I batoned a bunch of it, and this isn't just it. There's a whole big pile in my backyard, but I just brought some up to kind of give you an idea what I did. I chopped all this. This is hard old wood. This is the kind of stuff you would find in your backyard or in, the woods somewhere. It's not, it's nothing special, just regular wood. And this, get my big head out of the way here. You can see I bored a hole with this straight through out the other end. But yeah, I did it on both sides just to kind of see if I could mess up the tip or break it or whatever with it, and it did a good job. I got to tell it that much. It did really well. Drilled through this whole thing, didn't have an issue. You can see the tip, nothing wrong with that. Worked perfect. It's not razor sharp anymore. It wasn't razor sharp when it came out of the box, but it'll cut paper. You could still slice an edge off of the paper with it, and it did a pretty good job here. But the most impressive point I gotta say about the whole thing, and this is true, and none of this stuff I don't make up stories, but I cut this penny with it. I chopped it, just put it right on there, and I batoned with it. Looks fine to me. Don't see any issues there. So it cut a penny in half, and this is not like titanium or anything. This is just a penny, but it cut through some metal, so it'll do a little, it'll do work. And just to go back to this wood right here, see that spot there? I also hammered it, and this I didn't do both sides. You can see there, I didn't do that both sides. I hammered straight through with this thing. You can see the butt end, no marking whatsoever, and I batoned it. I picked up half of a 2x4 and was just beating on it to try to break it, and was prying around and just doing all kinds of chores with it, and it held up to it. It'll hold up to some abuse for a $12 knife. What more can you really ask for? It doesn't have a finger choil or jimping, or it doesn't necessarily stick to your hand when you play with it, but it has everything you could really want in a $12 knife. And honestly, it would sharpen up pretty good. I could run this thing across and just kind of get it back to working business there. I'm pretty impressed with it, so I would recommend that you go out and buy this. Honestly, $12. I mean, just to have it in your collection, throw away, practice, play around with, whatever. Look into it. $12 on Amazon. Szco full tang hunter knife.